So here's how you get to it. You click on the Start button and just type in IL. As soon as you do that, you'll see an icon that is a capital A, lowercase I, Adobe Illustrator. The extension given to a Photoshop document native file is what?
PSD.
.psd. And if I want to compress that file and open it up in a window browser, it is what? .jpeg, most likely. That's what we've done in our class to compress a file. You're going to shift gears now. The extension given to an Illustrator document is .ai. And when you actually compress a file so that we can open up and show them in class, it is a .pdf. So .pdf is going to be the compressed file. All right? We're going to do a file new. And when you get here, we're going to give this a name, and it's called IC1 Illustrator your first and last name. The extension again will be given when we save it is .ai. The neat thing about being an Illustrator is it recognizes so many different types of profiles that you can do. If you click this down arrow, if you know you're going to print, then you click here and all of the option bars change to printing. If you want a letter size, a postcard, the width, the height, and you know you're going to print. If you click again and you see web, if you'll all do that, click on web, then it will give you all the resolution sizes for a screen. Most of the time we design in 1024 by 768 for the web. If you were doing a full-blown website, sometimes you'll use the 640 by 480 because you're just doing a logo up there in the top corner. For our purposes today, we're just going to design in 960 by 560. But notice it recognizes devices. Am I designing for an iPad, a mini iPad, a phone? And then you can set the size of any type of phone. So you have lots of options that you don't necessarily see in Photoshop. Okay, we're going to design for the web today. Okay, then just go ahead and click OK. You now have a piece of paper and you get to draw. Just click on swatches with me. If you click on swatches, it'll list all the swatches. It'll come out in a menu. You've seen that a million times. But then you just click again, it toggles it and takes it away. Right? So you can just see what you want to see. The layer palette isn't as useful anymore because we're drawing vector images and it's object driven. But it makes my Photoshop students crazy. I just need to see it. Where is it? Let me look at the layers. Here it is. And it will record every single thing that you do in the order that you do it. I'm going to introduce artboards because you can have multiple artboards showing. If you had a large monitor and you were drawing for several companies, you could have multiple artboards showing on your screen. And then this is where you would access each of them back and forth. Those of you who know Illustrator, you'll come to see this. These menus are very, very deep. And what you find is you'll use the same type of things because you have this artistic style of your own. So as you rearrange this to your liking, you'll want to save it by doing this. If you'll all try this with me, you'll go up here to Window, Workspace, and type in New Workspace. I did teach you this in Photoshop. And then you'll just give this a name. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit Essentials just to go back. I mean, you can stay in that workspace, but I'm just saying these Essentials as we move forward. And every menu has this. If you go here to the options bar of this particular swatches and you click, there's always this library. Every one of them have a library. Here is a list. Look at all these different colors you get to choose from. So if you were working on something that was kid stuff, you get a palette full of those colors for kid stuff. And these menus you can pull in here, so while you're working on it, you have access to it while you're doing kid stuff. And then when you're done with it, you can just pull it out, close it, and you're done. So don't be afraid to go into these options and look inside these libraries for just what's pre-done for you as you create. Look at this. So if I go into food and beverages, let's say that I'm designing for McDonald's. Here are fun colors that you can go into that represent, they think, represent colors for that. Here's my favorite though. It's under brushes, and I'm just touching the surface of what you can do with brushes. So this is a paintbrush, and we're going to use paintbrush today. And I can paintbrush these beautiful lines, right? Okay, but I want more. Watch this. If I go under options, and I open up the brush library, and I go to, and all of these are fun, but I'm just going to choose decorative. And under decorative, I'm just going to choose scatter. And here is all of these different options of scatter. I turned my paintbrush into stars. I'm not really an artist, but I sure look like it in Illustrator. And you just watch me, you don't have to do it. I'm just going to grab my paintbrush tool, and now when I paint these stars. So under these options, my point is each one of these select Illustrator layers have options that you can go to that allow you to do that. So amazing. When you're learning how to draw, you're going to screw up a whole lot. So you're going to grab your select tool and you draw a box around it and you press your delete key. That is a way for you to select all of it and press delete. Okay? So we're going to do a lot of that today. First, we're going to start with shapes. So we're going to grab the rectangle tool. It's an M keyboard stroke if you just hit that. And when you make your shape, you have two choices now, not just fill color, and you're going to miss your paint bucket for just a little bit. You now have, instead of a paint bucket, a fill color. This is a fill color. If you see white with a red forward slash, that tells you that you don't want to fill. Okay? None is what that means. Choose a color, any color, and then you can also choose a stroke. That is the button to the right of it. Click here, and here is your option for a stroke. Awesome. Pick two colors that you think will look good, one with a fill, one with a stroke. Then go out here, you get a crossbar, and if you'll just make a rectangle, click and drag. Yes, you all have a rectangle? And then, what if you don't like the color?
What is the stroke, though? Where did it go?
The stroke, oh, the stroke you can't see because it's selected, but the stroke is a 1 pixel going around the outside.
So you can make it fatter, right?
Yeah. Now, with it selected, if you don't like the color, then you just go into your color wheel and you can actually choose it here, okay? Or here, or under swatches, just like Photoshop, okay? So I don't care, truly, I don't care the size or the color of what that looks like, but that you understand that that's what it is. Then, anytime you have your selection tool, and it's a keyboard stroke V, you can grab any of the white handles and you can resize to your heart's content. On the angle, on the side, you can still even go up in that top corner, bottom corner, and get a curved arrow and shift it, right? Left and right. That is universal. We did that in Photoshop, correct? You have underneath it what's called the direct select tool. If you'll all click that, now with your object, you have a different type of selection. Watch me first and then you try it. What I'm going to have you do is double click on the corner. When you do, you get what's called an anchor. When you see the word anchor, there's these green lines and words that help you draw. When you get an anchor, you now can create a kite. This is object drawing. It's allowing you to maneuver with this direct selection tool and do anything that you want, right? I'm going to show you how to take a circle for a snowman, because we're building that today, and turn the circle into a carrot by using this direct select. Yes? Pretty neat to be able to do that. You can also do this with your path. You still have the option to move your path, which are the lines that are connecting it together as well. And then you still can hold on to your shift key and get the perfect straight lines and all of that. So that's a new element, this direct select. Okay, we're going to start building your snowman. When we finish today, this is what it's going to look like. So envision this. You're going to have a family of snowmen. You are going to have 5 of them. So you're going to draw them and put them together, and then in the background have stars, snow falling, and on the bottom have puddles or mountains or something. We're going to save it as an AI, and then we're going to save it as a PDF. Then you're going to load it to in-class number 1. Load your PDF first so that I can see your beautiful artwork, and then load your AI, just so you have a backup. Okay? That's what we're going to do today. So let's start, and we're going to use circles to actually make this happen. We're going to grab an ellipse tool, and we're going to go up and decide colors. So I'm going to make my snowman white. Not none, but white. I want there to be color. And then you choose what color you think the male snowman, we're going to do him first, the male snowman will look like. Okay? And I don't care. I always do dark blue. I've been doing this for 100 years, so I always do dark blue. Okay? Then we're going to you're going to put a hat on top of your snowman. So start over here in the left-hand corner, and with your shift key, just draw his head. Something like that. Yes? If it's not the right size, remember you grab your direct select and you can readjust it or whatever. Okay? I'm going to go back, and now we're going to do his belly. Now, watch what happens when I move to start doing his belly. There is an anchor that comes out, and these are grid lines that help me draw. So even if I'm not a great artist, it will make me line things up. So as I move, it starts to give me these helpful hints. Oh, here's your anchor. Hey, Kim, here's your center point. Hey, Kim, here's the bottom of the neck. Can you see that? So they're just to help you draw while you're drawing. We're not going to do 3 bellies. I'm going to draw so he just has like a belly like this. And I want them to overlap because I'm going to teach you how to use Shape Builder, and they need to overlap. And then we're going to grab your ellipse tool again, and we're going to make his feet. Only make one of them because I'm going to show you how to copy the other one. So kind of have it link inside. Notice you get these lines that will say, hey, Kim, now you've lined his foot up with the end of his body. You know, not important on a snowman, but if you were lining up, you know, something that lined up in a room, then that guide would be very, very helpful. What's really nice is you're going to hold on to your Alt key, and you have to be on your Move tool. But with your Alt key, if you just click and drag, you just got a second foot. Okay, now do his arms. His arms are twice as long as his feet. Not asking for much, everyone. You're just going to use your ellipse tool. Really, I've built out of shapes the structure of this snowman, but I really want him to all be one, right? So watch me first and then you do it. I'm actually going to grab what's called the Shape Builder. It's this blob right here. It has 2 circles with an arrow on it, and it's called the Shape Builder. Shift M would get you there. You have to highlight the whole thing first. It gives me an arrow with a little plus, and it says, Kim, what do you want to add together? These 2. So you click and you drag. I saw the blue, which is the blue that stands for highlight. Now look, awesome. My snowman is becoming a true snowman. It's pretty neat to be able to use that Shape Builder. Okay, so deselect. So after you have your snowman all selected, just click off of it. And now we're going to put buttons down his belly. So choose what color you want your buttons to be, and your border, stroke, and you only have to make one button, right? And then just use your Alt key to do the others. And see how I'm using my grid and my guide? So when I Alt and drag it down, it'll give me a guide so they line up perfectly. Okay, we're going to put a scarf around his neck. And I know some of you know the pen tool, so if you want to pen tool it, you can. I'm just going to show you how to use your paintbrush tool. We're going to use your paintbrush and pick your color of your paint. You can also choose your stroke color. And then what you do is you just start to paint. Now this is vector, and look how fun it is to do vector. Okay, you're going to put eyes on your snowman. And then duplicate it. For his nose, also use an ellipse. Make it orange for a carrot. And all you're going to do is draw a circle right between his eyes. And then I'll show you how to turn it into a carrot. Then you're going to use your direct select key. And this is where you double click on that anchor. And then you pull out that anchor. So it's not this perfect circle. And you can go on the other anchors and just kind of make them a little bit smaller. And all of a sudden you've turned a circle into a carrot. Double click on the handle to turn it into an anchor. So you can either put a top hat on him. So do that one with me, and if you don't like it, you can do a scarf kind of hat, like a ski hat on him. If you'll grab the rectangle tool, make sure you're deselected so you're not on any part of the snowman. And then what you're going to do is grab you can do rounded or rectangle, either one works, and we're going to just choose a color that you think will look good for a top hat. And then grab an ellipse. Keep it the same color, or a rectangle, I mean, and just kind of put it on top, something like that. And then shape build that, right? Select both of these. Holding onto your shift key, you shift both rectangles so they're both selected. And then again, use your shape builder tool and you can make them one. So you can find yourself drawing and then combining shapes. Okay, you're going to put a cane that hangs from his arm. Just draw it with a paintbrush. It uses your stroke color for the cane. You can fill it in if you want. Then we're going to go grab some paintbrushes, everyone. Go to your paintbrushes. Go to your options. Go to decorative. and the decorative scatter. And inside this decorative scatter, you can turn your paintbrush into any of these just to fill the background. So once you've got what you want, grab your brush and you can create kind of a fun background, okay? I'm showing you this now because you're going to build your family and then fill the background with something that kind of makes it look finished. Welcome to Illustrator, everyone.